Hello?
Dingo, what's up?
What up?
Okay, now you sound different. Hold on, speak.
Hey, I'm here.
Okay, how do I sound?
You sound fine.
Okay, so I switched to antenna call rather than Wi-Fi. I'm at the
Oh,
hotel. So anyway, she was lying to me. She was lying to her parents. She was also talking to her ex-boyfriend the whole time and told him a bunch of shit that was like not true at all, obviously. And now she says she started saying that shit around the time the AIDS stuff came out to like give herself an excuse, I guess. But um, anyway, he did that stream, and then the sex tape came out, and she's not been out the whole time though. She's been in the hospital the whole time.
so does she know?
Uh, yeah, she knows. Yeah, she knows.
Shit.
Um, I did tell her about it. But she's adamant not to go home with her parents. She's adamant to come back with me. Her parents are talking about disowning her if she does that. Um, the thing is, a lot of people didn't go want to see me go to jail for this.
Oh, I know.
Um,
I know. I've fucking been seeing that shit, like their messages and stuff, and like almost bragging about how like they're gonna fucking call this officer or this fucking station. You know, it's like what the fuck is wrong with you people?
yeah, so, but they're serious about it. They're going to try to push this.
Oh, I
Um,
know. I know.
so, yeah, so I talked with my advisors yesterday. And at the beginning of the day, I said, you know what? Get rid of faith. It's time to cut ties, dude. Like, this has got to end. I got to get back to the basics. But as the day unfolded and I started to see how many people were serious about fucking locking me up, basically, I started to think that maybe that wasn't the right idea, if you know what I mean. Um, and that as bad as it looks to take back somebody who was disloyal or whatever, you know what looks a lot worse, Dingo? Being in jail looks a whole lot worse than everything.
Yeah, dude.
uh,
I didn't even think about that because like my advice, if you ask for mine, it was gonna be the same thing. Like yeah, cut
yeah,
ties with this
well,
girl. But then when you say that, it's like
yeah.
you don't really want a woman having a reason to hate you, and then like a
No,
maybe
no, no.
a rope to pull on to get you in trouble.
No, no, no. You don't want that because they'll pull that fucking rope, especially somebody like her. She's
Yeah,
already shown to be fucking unstable as fuck. So the next option is bite the bullet, bring her back, get back together. You know, give it the old college try, but still know that this is probably not whatever. Like, don't get too invested again, whatever. Um, and just play it by ear. And if she wants to leave, let it be her idea, not this one guy who they're accusing of leaking my sex tape, and everybody's saying he leaked the sex tape. I wanted to go to his house and live with him again, and I was going to try to make amends, and all he had to do was say yes, and he said no. And now all these people are sitting here telling me I should put that guy in jail. So that's not the type of situation that I like, um, because who knows what she can do. Now, she might not do anything. It's very possible. But you know what? I still got fucking 8 months of probation left. And so technically that's also like some of those months, I think, let's see, 3 years. No, the suspended time is over. So I already served all the suspended time. But they can still put you back in jail for your probation time too, and just like let you sit there. That's another thing. I don't even want to be charged with this thing though, because first off, it'd be a big story. Second off, they can revoke your probation on a fucking charge, and I would just have to sit there in jail until I went to court. So that's not something
yeah.
I'm gonna allow. And when I get her here or back in my house, and we're there every day. I mean, I'm not gonna look. Any other time in my life, any other situation, the bitch is gone. Like, I mean, let's be honest. But sometimes you gotta just work with what you're given, and I don't feel like risking a fucking case. And
Oh, you don't have to
so
explain
when
nothing to
she
me.
comes back, yeah, so I'm just gonna bring her back, and try to work. I'm going to be honest about it and try to like be decent and everything. But always keep in my mind. I mean, you can't shut somebody up for something like that, really. So I don't know. The plan was to pick her up today. I drove up to DC halfway and back before her fucking doctor called me and said she's not getting out until tomorrow. Well, she's not getting out today. Tomorrow, the supervising physician wants to set a safety plan for her or some shit. And her parents have been trying to see her this whole time. She won't see them, and she's grown, so they can't make her see him. And honestly, I don't want her seeing him because who knows what they might try to say. Yeah,
No.
I need to get her out of there. I don't.
How the fuck did they have her committed in the first place? And she's an adult.
They didn't have her committed. That's the thing. So she went and said she had self-harm thoughts or whatever, and threw a fit, and they took her to the hospital. And they didn't commit her. She signed a voluntary commitment. So that's a completely different thing. Well, it's not completely different, but technically she wasn't committed by the state or DC governance or whatever. So she can actually sign herself out, but I know how these things work a little bit, and if you go to sign yourself out, first off, they'll take forever, and they'll be a bitch about it. Second off, if you start showing too erratic of a behavior there in the mental part of the hospital, it's not good, and they'll lock your ass down. They'll find out a way. They'll figure out a way to keep you there. So I just told her to be chill. She was really sad because she didn't get out. I was like, look, just be chill. It's only a 5-day max anyway. They'll have to let you go by Friday regardless. Just be chill. I got to do the show tomorrow, so hopefully it's tomorrow early. I can get you out, but whatever. So the plan is I'm going to get her, bring her back. I'm probably going to keep her in a hotel for a day or two just to, keep her a little separate. And then kind of ease her back in. I am going to take the one photograph for public consumption with me holding a newspaper or some shit and her in the frame.
A newspaper?
I'm dead serious, brother. And so I'm going to take the one picture. We already agreed she's off social media, which is a big part of me even with the charge hanging on my head, I was like, you got to get off social media altogether, period. And I have to have access to all your accounts and all that. So, even the other account, whatever, email, all that shit, I don't care. So that's the plan, Dingo. I know this might sound insane, but the key is this: make it be her idea. Don't throw her out. If she wants to go, let her go. And then, even just having her with me, it being proved that she was with me after, and that we, the pictures out there, all these texts, all this stuff, is huge. If something ever went to court or something like that, it would be huge. Even just that happening. So,
absolutely,
that'd be huge. Even if I didn't have her on tape saying whatever I needed her to say, just us getting back together, the optics of that, most prosecutors would not even touch the case because they'll be like, she's full of shit. Because literally, that's what they'd be like, nah, I don't think so. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. There was something else I was about to say, too. Well, her dad, I talked pretty civilly with her dad. And, he's told me a couple of lies because he doesn't want me to. He tried to tell the doctors I leaked the tape and all this shit. And they told her that. And she called me this morning like, what the fuck? And then I messaged her dad and I was like, oh, I see what you're up to. I see what you're all about. And he tried to claim he didn't do it, but he actually did. He's lying. So I can't let her get back over there with him. And he was like, oh, it's up to you, and, we're going to disown her and cut her off. Look, I don't care. I didn't say this in the text, but I'm going to be real goddamn honest with you. First off, they're full of shit. Parents say that shit. They're almost certainly going to take her back. Second off, I don't care, dude.
Yeah, you're not a fucking black guy. They're not actually going to disown you. I mean, her, because,
Yeah, exactly. They're
you're white.
That. You're white. You show up one day like the prodigal son, and they're going to take you back in like every fucking decent white person does. But he was saying that, I guess, to kind of dissuade me, but I'm sitting here thinking, dude, I don't give a fuck about you disowning anybody. I'm thinking about courtroom law and shit. I don't give a shit. I'm thinking about old number one here. I don't give, you keep talking about that. Um, but, I'm just going to have to bring her back. That's all there is to it. I mean, I can sit here and give a million reasons why, but,
Yeah. Did that lawyer you talked to or whatever, did they give you the advice that
yeah,
you
she
should?
said bring her back.
Oh no, I'm talking about, did they give you this piece of advice? Like for the next couple of weeks after that happens, just no matter how unlikely you think it is, just assume that your voice is being recorded 24/7 by her
Oh,
and
that's a
operate
good
like
point.
that. Just
That's a
speak.
good point. And
Yeah.
also, so there's a couple other things. She doesn't have her devices at all. They took her phone. They took her laptop. She doesn't have a phone or a laptop. Any phone or laptop she has will have to come from me. And there's a couple things I'm going to do before I give her any device. One thing I'm going to do is put a keylogger on the device, and I've done this before. So I'll be able to see whatever she's writing on her device, like on my device.
Yeah,
Like,
don't even
live
tell her
on
that.
me. No, I'm not going to tell her that at all. Oh, hell no, I'm not telling her shit. Yeah, that's just my little. She didn't tell me a lot of things, so we'll just chalk that up to even. So, so no, I'm not gonna tell her shit. And I mean, it's not just with her; it's with everybody. I didn't leak shit. I don't know what y'all are talking about. I'm pulling whatever, dude. It didn't happen. I don't know what to
That's
say.
not what I saw play out, dude. I'm just saying, I saw the whole thing play out and I didn't fucking see it like that.
Like what?
Like you leaking it. That's not how I fucking saw it
Yeah,
happen.
exactly. I mean, Spurs have been fucking with me for months. It could have been anybody. Who knows? Whatever. I didn't do it. Prove it. Dude, I just can't leave it up to chance at this point in time. Like, oh, just send her back and maybe it'll be okay or whatever. Dude, I can't do that. Like, that's a little
No.
too much.
No. But yeah, I would, if I were you, I would just assume, like if you assume and
You're
plan for
right.
the worst, then like you'll be all right. Just imagine she's wearing a wire that the fucking cops put on her and they're just listening live 24/7. That's what you have to fucking act like.
That's a great way to put it, dude. And also, Alex, she's the lawyer. She said, she's like, first off, her first idea was to not just like ghost her or whatever. She said that'd be retarded. She said, well, just call her and convince her, sweet talk her into going back with her parents, and she can come back and be with you after. Da da da. Okay, well, the problem with that is she wasn't having that at all. She's like begging me, please don't make me go back. Da da da. So then I'm thinking, well, if I tell her no, she might take that as a, like an act of aggression or some shit. So I started thinking about it over the course of the day, and then even by the end of the day, Alex, who hates her, by the way, she's just like, well, she doesn't hate her, but she thinks she's just a complete waste of space, basically. Um, and so, but still, she's like, yeah, you know what? You're right. She's like, go ahead and pick her up. Be like the best, like nicest fucking person you could be, especially for these next 2 or 3 weeks. Don't fucking raise your voice. Don't get mad. Like, be super chill. Just be there for her and all this shit. Whether you want to be or not, just fucking act like your freedom depends on it. She said, especially when she first comes back, don't like try to settle scores and score points about all the shit she did to you because
Yeah,
you'll
don't.
never even that score anyway. You never
Yeah.
even that score anyway, and just don't. I've only talked to her on the phone and stuff, and I talked to her parents this whole time, and they don't like me at all. But her dad's been mostly cool except for the lies and stuff. But he's trying to win. Like I don't know. Like I understand it's his daughter, but he told me, he was going to disown her and they weren't going to have anything to do with her if I decided to take her in, and that he wasn't joking and neither was his wife. And I'm just like, well,
Does she have any siblings?
all right. Yeah, she's got 4 siblings.
Okay, so they do have kids to spare then. Well,
Yeah, I know.
I don't
That's what
know.
my mom said. You know what? I told my mom, and she's just like, Well, I said, oh, they'll take her back, whatever, no big deal. And my mom goes, not everybody's like us. They have a whole mess of kids. I was like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm an only child, dude, and my parents would never even dream of saying that because they know I would be like, yeah, you're full of shit. You're not gonna disown nothing.
Oh, dude, disown me. Like, I would laugh in their fucking face. Are you kidding me? Disown me, bitch. Okay, alright. Yeah, I'll see you next week, fucker. Yeah, okay, disown me.
Now, what's the plan for the
Plus, I
show
was just, dude,
tomorrow?
I was raised from the mentality, my parents would rather hang themselves from the roof than disown their children. Are you kidding me? Like, I got into a fist fight with my dad. We never disowned each other. Are you kidding me? Like, fuck no. I don't know
Don't
who these bitch-made ass motherfuckers are, but, like, what do you mean disowning? That's not something that should even be in your lexicon, really.
The only way I would
But
ever
what?
disown my son, like I got a kid now, and I can say that like it might be the hardest thing I would ever do, but I would disown my kid if he did one of two things. If he was a faggot or if he was with a black girl. Like I would not accept either one of those two things. But short of that, like whether he's a fucking dope head, whatever, I'm not giving up on my kid or disowning him for shit.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, of course, I don't really care if they're black chicks, obviously. But I will be. I'll be real. If my son was gay, that'd be hard to deal with. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, because you know he's
that'd be
gonna
really hard
die.
to deal
Like gay people don't live long for a
with.
reason.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not just. I mean, it's just hard to relate to. It's like, oh, you're gay. Well, okay.
Oh,
And I'm like,
you take dick then. That's great. What do we have in
yeah.
common?
Yeah, you change the paradigm at that point, and it's like, I don't think I would just. I mean, I wouldn't disown them, but it would be like a different type of like, you know what I mean? Like it would have to be. They would almost, you know what I mean? Like just somebody I knew kind of that was nice, like a friend of mine or something. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be the same, really. I don't know. Um, but you know, plus they're talking about she's got mental problems and stuff, and you're talking about disowning her. That's kind of heartless if you want to know the truth about it.
No shit. I
Um,
mean, how about this? How about the second she gets back to y'all's house, y'all fucking do everything you possibly can to put her in the fucking hospital. Like no wonder she don't like you motherfuckers.
well, yeah, exactly. And then I told him, I said, well, okay, because clearly yesterday morning I told her dad, I was like, yep, you know what, you're right, take her back, because I was catching so much heat. I was like, take her back. I wrote a text too. I was like, you can show her this. She should go back, you know. And I was really nice in the text and all sweet and stuff, even though I was fucking disgusted. Um, and then the day started to unfold, like I said. And it was like, he could tell though about today, especially like that. There's definitely a chance that I'm gonna go pick her up. And so he's just like, well, will you let us know if you pick her up and stuff? And I said, yeah, you know, I mean, I'm not a fucking evil person. Like, of course, I mean, I'll tell you guys. And he said, you know, what I said to you the other day still stands, though. If she goes back to Richmond with you, we're cutting her off insurance, we're cutting her off everything. She's not my daughter anymore. This and that. And he's
Now,
just like, you can tell that to her again if you want. I didn't because, like, whatever. I'm not trying. I want her to come back. So,
what about
yeah.
the pickup, like itself? Have you thought about that? Like, what if you get there and this motherfucker's there wanting to cause a scene? Have you thought about any of that?
I have, but HIPAA regulations are pretty strict, and they won't tell them when they release her. Um, I think they could go to jail for that, actually. So they've
I would
already been
possibly.
kind of violating HIPAA a little bit because they're like, oh, we're talking to her doctors and shit, which is kind of, you know, I don't know how much they've talked to her doctors, because really, if a patient says they don't want you talking to their doctors, the doctors aren't supposed to be talking to them. But, you know, sometimes these doctors, if it's the patient's, you know, parents and stuff, they'll just wink, wink, kind of fudge the rules and shit. So I don't know. But I do know a couple things, though. I know it's in D.C., so I don't have to worry about any type of, like, you know, him showing up with a officer or something, or he swore out some kind of warrant or something. I don't have to worry about that. I can just go pick her up, get in, get out. Maybe pick up some weed while I'm in D.C. because they have weed delivery.
Weed?
I know that's degenerate. But whatever.
No, I just didn't know what you said. You said weed?
Yeah, I said weed, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't. By the way, I didn't know that till 2 weeks ago. But you can get marijuana delivered anywhere in Washington D.C.
Well, that is fucking insane. I did not know that.
Yeah. Oh well, not anywhere on federal property. You can't. Um, and somewhere. Yeah.
Could
So
you
on federal
imagine that
property.
fucking guy, like a Domino's guy and a weed guy, pull up to the White House? Like, what are you doing here? Oh, same thing you're doing here, man. Trump's hungry.
Trump said he didn't drink. He didn't say anything about weed, though, did he?
Yeah, no joke.
Actually, I think he did, though. But yeah, man, that's my life right now. So it's kind of crazy. I'm hoping tomorrow. Like, I know this is going to be a handful. It's basically like adopting an unruly child almost. Except she'll be sucking my dick. But and I know I'm in for probably some more punishment in the personal life, but whatever. I have to just like bite the bullet.
Yeah, you're going to have to take a couple of licks probably from her. You're you're going to want to win that argument, dude. And I know you're hard headed. I know, but you're going to have to just let yourself lose a few, just to keep everything rolling.
Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna have to keep my cool. There's no doubt about that.
The living room to his bedroom chasing a Fanta bottle.
Did he?
If you hint, it wasn't me.
Good job, buddy. My kid just crawled all the way from the living room to the bedroom.
Holy shit.
All right, I'll be in a sec, okay?
That's a pretty good run, man.
A very important call. Is that tears?
No, slumber.
Oh, okay. That's lovely. Okay, I'll be in a sec. Bye, buddy. Okay, sorry. No, but yeah, you're probably just going to have to lose a couple, dude. It's no big deal. Like whenever my wife was pregnant, she was a fucking retard, and I had to let myself lose like I don't know 9 months worth of them because you just have to at that point. I think there's probably something similar.
Because do you want to win, quote unquote, or you just want to fucking get by for the next fucking hour or whatever? Like just whatever. Just, okay, you win. Like whatever. Yeah, there's gonna have to be. I'm gonna have to be a little bit more docile. As far as arguments and shit go, but also be hardcore as far as letting her fucking, get around the internet and do dumb shit. So, I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes. Even just having her back for a couple weeks will look good for any type of potential case. So that's all I'm worried about, really.
Yeah, I would also say like anything that you buy, for her, even if it's a fucking pizza you get delivered. Make sure there's a record of all of that shit. Like anything that she benefits from, whether it's a paper receipt, an email, just like you never know what kind of shit you might have to provide. You know what I mean? Like, oh well, look, she was fucking fed. She was fucking, I got her this, I got her that. Like
Honestly,
all this behavior
she
points
said some
to
stuff
me
like
being
that
a
about
good
her
dude.
parents, that like they wouldn't let her shower and all this stuff, and he said that she made that up. And she said enough like crazy laws that I think she probably did. And honestly, she's like said somebody raped her before and stuff, and like she said such big laws that now I'm like, I wouldn't fucking believe that. If I was in a jury, and I knew her history, I wouldn't fucking vote to convict. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, just try to make sure there's a record of you being like a good ass nigga. That way, in case somebody says you're not a good ass nigga, you got fucking receipts, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that. There's a couple other things. I got an extra video camera. I thought about putting that bitch in my house.
That's a bad idea.
Not for, yeah, that probably isn't bad.
I'm not sure about that one, Ralph.
Given recent events, maybe that's not a good idea. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know, man. That's what I'm gonna do. I ain't gonna keep you all night. Just go ahead and get back to your family. But I figure I'll fill you in because I don't know. I haven't been able to tell that many people either. So
what I was wondering tomorrow, like with that being on stream and debate and all that, like I got all that. That's no problem going down with Beardson. But like, what are your plans as far as taking calls and all this shit?
Well, I guess I don't know. I probably will take calls, but it might be like just people I know. I don't know if I'll open it all the way up or not.
And what do you want? Like, just as far as like me, like, is there any subjects or phrases or topics or anything you'd like me to avoid?
I mean, don't say the N word and kike and all that stuff.
Duh. I'm talking about this situation.
With this, I mean, I don't know. Not really. No. I mean, everybody's gonna be talking, but don't mention anything I said here.
Obviously.
Um,
Yeah, of course. Of course.
and then my official stance is that I didn't leak that. So, if you say that I did, I'll have to stop you and correct you. Um, so,
Yeah,
but
well, I
other
mean,
than that, not really. I don't care about jokes and stuff.
that's why I said allegedly in that video earlier. Because I don't know who the fuck was on the other end of that.
Yeah, and I appreciate that because even a couple of friends of mine are like, just attributing it. I'm like, all right, no, that's not
Did
what
you
I
see?
said.
Did you fucking see that clip I shared of Baked?
No.
I put that shit in the Twitter group there, dude. This motherfucker, fuck Baked Alaska, fuck him. Like this motherfucker was sitting
What did
there.
he?
Well, at first he started off like some people. That Kaz guy watched it and he goes, "Oh, it seemed like friendly banter to me, mate." And I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Because he started off just like saying that you're retarded and oh my eyes and all this shit. And then he oh I'm sorry. The first thing he said was he read a super chat. He goes, "Did you hear about the Ralph drama?" He goes, "Oh yeah, the Ralph. Oh, I'm so sad. Oh Ralph, I'm so sorry. I'm so sad." And like to me that's a shitty fucking thing to say. Like, haha, you deserve it, Ralph, basically is what I got. And then he said that other shit. And then at the end, he said that you were just a fucking retard. And then he kind of like made a couple jokes that did seem like friendly banner. But yeah, the clip, it's like I think a 7-minute clip. It's in that fucking Twitter group.
Yeah, I might check it out. You know what? Baked Alaska is really retarded.
Yeah, I know.
Um, I mean, he's actually stupid. Like, I don't say that. It's like,
I can tell,
I mean,
bro.
he's just not. He's not that bright. Like, I mean, just dim as fuck. I don't really think he always understands social interactions too. Like watching him in a crowd and talk to people like Dick and stuff, and like not get accused, or he's always trying to bring up some little dig, like personal slight that he remembered from 2 years ago. So like he started asking Dick about New Project 2, and he took a couple of digs, and Dick didn't even catch it because Dick wouldn't even expect something like that to happen. But the whole reason he brought up New Project 2 and started saying that shit was just to like remind Dick of him failing for it. And then he's just like, "Oh, you never approved me for my New Project 2 application." And then that's how he brought it up. He's like, "Oh, you never approved me for my New Project 2 application. How's it going lately?" And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I mean, nobody says something like that unless it's to fuck with somebody." And then he had a couple more digs. He's that type of person where he wants to be able to claim deniability. When I talk shit about somebody, there's no fucking mistaking it. And
Yeah,
now
same here.
sometimes right after or later on, I'm like, "Oh, I shouldn't have said that," or my anger got the better of me or whatever. Me and you've had that happen before, where it's like, "Oh, I got carried away or whatever." I do have that happen, but you know where I stand, and you don't have to usually decipher. I'm pretty open about that. I don't like the other method, the snake method. So
No, yeah, me
I
too.
don't
Oh,
know.
yeah. And another thing in that video clip, I forgot. They were asking him about like the legality of this and that, and he definitively said that like, oh yeah, well then yeah, that's illegal. He fucking broke the law. And then then he had said a couple, I don't know, 30 seconds later, he was like, but don't, I'm not a lawyer though. Don't take anything I say, take it with a grain of salt. It's like, you weasel piece of shit. Like, why don't you just say what you fucking want to say?
Yeah, he's a faggot. Who what's funny is he messaged me like a week ago and was like, "Let's go to Cleveland." Of course, this is shit. I don't like it, but whatever. I was like, "Yeah, maybe that might be good content. Maybe I'll do it." I mean, not much with him, but I could go to Cleveland and get a lot of content on my own. I was like, "Yeah, maybe." I don't know. I think it's safe to say I won't be going to Cleveland with this faggot.
This motherfucker, he's trying to
But maybe
fuck you,
I'll go with
dude.
somebody else. You know what? Maybe I'll go. That's what I should do. Actually, I'm gonna write that down.
He's
I should
trying
go
to
with somebody else.
he's trying to get your booty, Ralph. I think he wants to fuck you right in the butt.
Nah, he wants clout. Even now, Baked is an afterthought. Everybody's been talking about me all week long. If Baked put out a sex tape, it would be like an hour of fucking laughs. Like, this guy's nothing. So, it's whatever. I mean, I'm always in the conversation. And he's always this fucking Baked Alaska. So,
Yeah,
It
and you
is
know,
what
like,
it is.
look, I don't. This is the weird. What I'm gonna say next is weird. It's weird for me. So I don't want to say this again because it's a weird topic. But like the the dick focus by these fucking queers is odd. You know what I'm saying? Talk just focus on somebody's dick like that.
I know exactly what you're thinking, what you're saying, and it's strange to me too. Especially when you can sit there and see, even if it looks longer, when you see it for real. But anyway, um, it's clearly just a regular dick. But
Yeah,
they
it's just
spent
a
so many
normal
years. So
dick.
you know what? Yeah, but you know what? Like 4 years ago, actually, yeah, well, it was 5 years ago. These people who used to fuck with me during Gamergate, just one day woke up and just put somebody else's dick pic out. It was like a micro penis picture, and just said it was my dick pic, and like just said, "Oh, that's Ralph's dick pic. We just found it." Like with no type of background or proof or anything. They just said this is Ralph's dick pic, and so they tried to make that stick on me for years that I have a micro penis. Like this is the thing they try to say. And so then the sex tape comes out. Clearly, I don't have a micro penis, but they're so invested in the fake bullshit meme that they just keep repeating it anyway.
That's very Jewish. You know, I
Well,
know
if
I
they
can't say
said
that.
this fat fuck Ralph is sitting there looking like Jabba the Hutt or something like that, okay, well that's fine. That's true. But when you're saying things that I can sit here and look and say, "Oh, it's not accurate," I have a real problem with that, and that's usually what gets me into these fights with all these trolls and shit, because like they're saying stuff that's clearly not true, verifiably not true, and I have a real problem with not responding to stuff like that.
I do as
Honestly,
well.
Worski, yeah, I know, I do too, but you know who's gotten really good about it? It's Worski, where he's just like, get him out of here, block him. I'm not talking about it. Get rid of him. That's why he had that fight with you, because like he thought you were trying to like dig that shit up. And he's like got this hardcore mentality where he's just like, nope, not talking about it, blocks. And he's a lot happier than I am.
That's what
If
I
you
did.
watch
That's
his
what I was gonna
show,
say, dude. I started doing the same thing like 8 months ago, and I'm telling you, dude, it's such a fucking like it's been such a relief. Like I didn't realize how much it fucked with my head, but like I would come home mad because these fucking
yeah,
faggots are lying about me, all over the place and shit.
yeah.
People asking me about it, but like once I started just like blocking them, dude, everything got so great. Like I would come home and I would snap at my wife for nothing, dude. It's because I was just
Dude,
mad.
this shit has caused problems in my relationships. Yeah. Ask my ex-wife about it. Like, oh, I would just be in a fucking shitty ass mood because of all this shit going on. And, a good 70 to 90% of it is shit that I could have just ignored. Like, okay, they're talking retarded shit. They're always going to be talking retarded shit. Ignore it. Nothing you can say, and I know this intellectually, by the way, nothing you can say is going to make them stop or make them stop lying. So why even, who cares? But then I'll start thinking, oh, what if somebody sees this? I need to prove it wrong. No, you don't. You don't need to prove them wrong. Just block them and forget they ever fucking existed.
That's honestly the best
And
thing you could possibly do.
dude, man, and I did that for months, and then I just got out of the habit. The whole conspiracy bullshit they started got me back reading Kiwi Farms, and it's just been
The what?
nothing ever since. That shit that PPP tried to start about New Project 2. So I started reading again to like try to keep up with what they're doing. But all it, you know what? That's worthless though, because all that does is suck you right back into their fucking like negativity warp.
Yeah. And you know what else it
And
does, dude? You know what else I've noticed?
what's that?
Because I ran across a problem like that. There was these motherfuckers that were like lying about me all the time. You know them, Underwater Alex Jones, and then some of his fucking
I hate
queer
that shit.
friends. I do too, dude.
You know what? I used to like him, and I thought he was a cool dude. And then I was shitting on T-Clips because she's a fat bitch, and Snake too. And he just randomly popped in the thread and was like, "Oh, you're acting like Tonka." Da, da, da. I was like, "Fuck you, dude! I fucking helped you out. The fuck you jumping into some shit that doesn't even involve you. I see what kind of person you are, actually.
Yeah,
Like I would
no.
never do that."
But like the thing that he was doing, he was lying about me on this and that. And so then I started doing what you just said, like started kind of following it, trying to read up on it, see what he's saying. And so then I fucking like jumped on a stream that he was at to fucking confront him about this or that or this or that. And so he would bring something up, and I would be like, I knew you were going to ask about that, right? And see what it did. It made it look like I was familiar with it because like maybe it's
Yep.
true. You would rather actually look. You'd rather actually sound surprised. You want it to be the first time you hear about it, so you can react.
You're
like,
right.
Truly.
Dude! Wow, you know what? That's an excellent observation.
Dude,
Actually.
I'm a genius, Ralph. What the fuck are you not picking up?
No, that is. No, I mean, no, I didn't mean it like, oh, you're a dummy. But
I know, I'm just
I've
playing
never
it.
thought about that. Working, it's like, yeah, it's like, oh, this guy sounds like he's practiced this response, or he really knows this question coming every single time. Why does he expect that?
Exactly.
Which is true. Another thing is, dude, if you're not on offense, you're losing. Like, you can sit here on defense, and I've been on defense for like a fucking solid month. And, you know, we've had some good shows and some wins during that month, but overall, that's not how you want to be. You got to attack. And so when I come out tomorrow night, I'm coming out guns blazing. And I'm about to rip. I saw Aid had her little thing yesterday. I'll have something for her eyes.
I don't actually know who that is. I mean, you ain't got to fill me in, but I have no idea who that is or what it's about. But
That's
it's all
my
good.
ex-girlfriend. She went on stream last night and talked all this shit. We'll see. I also have to be careful because they've been trying to get me kicked off D-Live for this. And Trip messaged me. He's like, look, they're after you hardcore, even more hardcore than they were, dude. And he said, we're not going to do anything about this allegation or whatever because it was off platform and, you know, according to our standards or whatever, we know we don't punish for that. But he said, look, dude, I don't know if I'm not saying you did or didn't do it, but if you did do it and you did that just to rile up the people who are fucking reporting you, please stop because it's making my job a lot harder. And then he's just like, look, if you come with some doxing or something really extreme here in the next couple of weeks, he's like, I'm not gonna be able to protect you, dude. Like, so
Yeah, I would agree.
I'm gonna have to be on guard for that.
Keep it cool.
Yeah, that's honestly why I wanted to take a couple of days off because I could have done the show last night and I could have done tonight, except I rented this hotel room again. But I wanted to kind of let it settle in my own mind. You know what I mean? So that was the idea. Actually, there's space right there, so I'm gonna talk to her, Dingo. But I really appreciate you, man. I appreciate you talking to me.
Oh yeah, no problem. You take it easy. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, you too, man.
Bye, dude.